Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be doing a video on probably the most frequently asked question I get, which is, what was it like on America's Next Top Model? So finally, you're gonna find out. Stay tuned to hear some juicy secrets and to have your most common questions answered. So let's start with the audition process. Everyone always asks me, like, how did I get on America's Next Top Model? What did you have to do? Things like that. So basically, I saw an ad on Facebook from America's Next Top Model that said, we're casting for cycle 23. Send your name, your height, your different measurements, and one photo. I'm pretty sure it was literally one photo. And so in that first email, sent them everything they needed, and I'll show you guys the one photo I submitted to them. I just chose that photo because I thought it showed me. Maybe didn't show my like modeling capabilities that well, but it's a nice clean shot of me, so I don't know. That's the one I chose. So from there, I basically like made it through the first round, I guess. And then it was like so many phone calls, phone interviews, Skype interviews, a stack of paperwork about this big, like so much. It was just the longest process. It must have been 2 months or something of just, you know, one step, and okay, you made it to the next step, and then the next step. So it was crazy, but it all worked out. So another question I get asked a lot is, did you model before America's Next Top Model? And yes, I did. I had been modeling for about 5 years before America's Next Top Model, so now about 6 years now. And for me, America's Next Top Model was sort of like my last chance. I know I was only like 20 at the time, but you know, I had tried modeling for 5 friggin' years and like nothing really stuck, you know what I mean? I just sort of was traveling around until, you know, sort of like hoping something would happen every trip, and nothing really like exploded. So I was like, all right, let's try America's Next Top Model, because why not? If this doesn't work, then I'm done. So now I'm gonna do my favorite and least favorite parts of America's Next Top Model. My favorite part was definitely the crazy photo shoots, and also the girls making like the best lifelong friends. Seriously, I know it's hard to believe because you guys only saw the drama, but we're all good people, I promise. Those photo shoots are unlike anything I've gotten to do in the real world. I mean, I've gotten to do a few crazy ones on my own, but those photo shoots were so fun and always such a challenge. And since I had been modeling for 5 years, I wanted a challenge. I was like, come on, give it to me. Like, give me your hardest task, your hardest clothes, and I'll make them look good. My favorite one was that avant-garde shoot we did, and I was wearing basically like a giant like bubble suit that Nicola Formichetti designed. And I was like, okay, dear God, how am I gonna make this outfit look like feminine? How am I gonna give it some shape? And I just love a challenge in modeling. I'm like, I will make this look fashionable. I will make everybody want to buy it. Yeah, that was a super fun shoot. So definitely the crazy shoots, and then also the girls, because these girls became my closest friends, like sisters. I always say that the experience was sort of like being in a sorority, but crammed into 7 weeks, which is how long we shot for, by the way, fun fact. To answer another common question, yes, I do keep in touch with the girls. I see Cherish like almost every day or every other day. She is like my sister now that I live in LA. I also see Chris Leanne frequently here in Los Angeles, and I used to see Tatiana all the time because we both lived in New York. And another fun fact, Tatiana was for sure my best friend during the filming, and we stayed in touch pretty well like after the show for sure. But that's one thing that bothers me about production, is like, how come you didn't show all the amazing friendships that were made? Now for the hardest part about America's Next Top Model, which was definitely the no cell phones, no books, no music thing, because they didn't want to like obviously advertise any brands or book titles or movie titles or things like that. And they also, I think, wanted to just promote creating bonds with the other girls and like making sure we interact with each other, whether that be good or bad. So we weren't really allowed to do like a lot of things that we are allowed to at home. Like TV or, yeah, music was really hard for me. I had like 15 songs on this little teeny iPod from like the 90s. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, that basically forced us to talk to each other all the time. So we got to know each other better than I know some of my, you know, lifelong friends. So I guess that's a good and bad thing that we didn't have any distractions. So now, one that I get a lot as well is, how is life after America's Next Top Model? Did it help me? Did it hurt me? What up? I have not really had any negative effects from America's Next Top Model somehow. Like, I was well behaved on the show. I hope I didn't give people reason to like dislike me or something, you know. Even like with clients, there's not really that ANTM stigma that everybody talks about. I mean, I guess I don't really mention it, but nobody's been like, oh, weren't you on that show? Oh, that's like, why did you do that? As long as you're still a good model, what does it matter if you were on America's Next Top Model or not? Honestly, it's only helped me. It's definitely really cool to do more of the like celebrity influencer type stuff. Like, I never imagined myself doing all these red carpets and interviews, and I actually get to have a voice, which is really special for a model, because a lot of times we are silent, you know. We get paid for our looks and nobody really cares what we think. But since America's Next Top Model, I've gotten to speak out about things that are important to me and just sort of be more of a role model to girls and, I don't know, just people in general, hopefully. I'm just so happy that I did it. Looking back, it was kind of hard during. I mean, there were some ups and downs for sure, but I'm very grateful for the experience. And I also really loved having Rita. That's another question I get a lot, is was I happy that Rita was our host, or would I prefer Tyra? And I personally was so happy that Rita was our host. I mean, it would have been awesome to have Tyra, but who knows what the results would have been if that was the case, and I don't know, just so many different factors. But for me, having Rita as the host literally changed my life. I'm now signed with Rita's management, First Access Entertainment, and they have just done amazing things for me, things that I would have never expected myself to be doing. I'm just like so grateful that they found me, you know, through America's Next Top Model, through Rita, and then, you know, came across me on the show and wanted to work together. So I'm just so happy about how things have worked out after the show. Okay, let's address the purple hair, because I get so many questions about that. So yes, if you didn't know, I had purple hair during America's Next Top Model. That was my makeover. So that's what I had throughout the whole season, and I was pretty stoked to have that, because I am not the kind of person who like puts a lot of effort into their hair. So to have someone else tell me basically like, you're gonna dye your hair this color, I was like, okay, I guess I am, you know. It was actually like pretty awesome, and I felt like half a pony princess person and half like a rocker chick, like punk. So I love the color hair, and honestly I think that really elevated me in the competition. Like, I think if I was just my regular blonde self, I wouldn't have stood out enough. And so I was super happy with my makeover. But as you can see, I have changed it back since the show. Changed it back to blonde, as close to my natural as I can get. I mean, it's been a struggle getting it back to blonde, but I would love to go back. But maybe one day, like if the YouTube thing takes off, or maybe the DJing or whatever, and I'm able to dye it back, I would definitely consider doing that. All right, so the next question is, how on earth did I stay out of that drama? I basically just kept thinking, my mom's gonna watch this, my younger siblings are gonna watch this, my boyfriend's gonna watch this. I was just like, I don't wanna be anybody else except the person I am at home, like who everybody knows me as. And I'm very proud, honestly, of the fact that I was able to be myself throughout the whole competition. Like, who you saw on TV is who you'll meet in person. I really tried to just stay true to myself, and I'm not the kind of person to fight, so I was just like, nope, I'm not gonna deal with that, you know? And I also just like talking it out with people. I'm not really the kind of person who, you know, if you say something rude to me, I'm gonna lash back, you know. I'd rather just say, oh, you know, that's an observation. I'll show you why that is not true. Or, you know, I just like to deal with things with logic and reason instead of like yelling. I mean, settle down, people. A lot of people ask if I knew I was gonna win America's Next Top Model, or if, you know, I had a feeling as the competition went on that I was gonna win. And honestly, from the start, hell no. Oh my God. My audition with the judges went terribly. Like, you guys didn't even see the half of it. Oh my God. So they basically asked me, you know, what I've done in the past, few years. And so before America's Next Top Model, I had worked in Milan, Singapore, Istanbul, Greece, you know, all over the world. And they were just like, so then why are you here? And I was like, well, you know, honestly, I was sort of using modeling to travel. Like, that's sort of why I was popping around. And like I mentioned earlier, nothing was really like sticking. And then I just like sort of tripped on my tongue, and I don't know, I basically was like, I suppose I should have just stuck to New York and LA if I really wanted to succeed. And then they said I'm like better suited to backpack through South Africa, and that I don't give a crap about the show or about modeling. And that's so not true. Of course I gave a crap. I was there, wasn't I? But I don't know, they just saw me as someone who was not passionate, and they even said I was like boring, no personality, like said I was too serious and like acted too mature for my age. I don't know. That audition went so bad. Like, I didn't even think I would make the top 14. Throughout the competition, I was, you know, doing pretty well most of the show. I had a couple of little downfalls, but throughout the show I was doing pretty well. And then once it got to like the last 5 shoots that we did, I think it was maybe like the last 6, I only got first and second for like best photo. And at that point I was like, okay, you know, I've won 3 best photos in a row at this point, you know, things are looking good. And I started to definitely gain confidence and think that I could win. So it took me until like top 5 to actually realize that, but there were some clues. So yeah, I guess towards the end I did think I was gonna win, but in the beginning, definitely not. Okay, so let's talk about some things that you didn't see on TV. So one thing that the girls and I loved to do was Zumba. This little brownstone that we had in New York had literally nowhere to work out. Nowhere, nothing. We were like, what do we do? So sometimes we would like do sit-ups in the makeup room, but what I love to do is Zumba. So I would take a couple of the girls outside, and we didn't even have music. But we would just like pretend that there was music, and we would dance and exercise and just be like, da, 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 da. Or we would just dance to no music at all, which is weird, but we were going nuts. What else were we supposed to do? So another thing that you didn't see was the hot delivery boy who brought some of the girls dinner one night. So basically there was that runway challenge, I think, and half of us won and half of us lost, and I was on the losing team. But the winners got to have like a lesson from Stacey McKenzie, and then also got to have food delivered to them from this like really buff, like French looking dude with long hair, and he like brought out a tray of food and was just like, hey ladies. It was so weird, and I was like shocked that they didn't show that on TV, but us girls upstairs were just like, what is going on down there? Like, so weird. So that wasn't shown on TV either, but it's sort of a funny experience for the winners. The last thing I'll touch on that you guys didn't get to see was Paige's Palace, which I did not participate in that stuff most of the time because it was disgusting for the majority. But the reason it was called Paige's Palace is because Paige's bed was the site for, you know, pizza parties, for waxing your hoo-ha, for watching movies, for giving massages with oil. I guess I did get a massage once. But anyways, Paige's Palace was literally like our hangout site for anything and everything, and the fact that we mixed all those different things together is just repulsive. But that was that, Paige's Palace. So that is all the juicy secrets I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed them and also enjoyed the little America's Next Top Model Q&A. It's always fun reminiscing about the show because it happened over a year ago now, which is just crazy to me. The new season's starting, which, by the way, I might be doing a reaction video to the episodes. I can't quite decide yet, but let me know if you want to see that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon. Bye.